Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Wednesday, August 18, 2021. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine show. I am your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Please like and share. It is the name of the show. We are currently live on my Facebook page, which is Sunshine Camila, Kamela. We are live on Spotify. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud. I said Spotify already. It's one more. But however, please like and share. Since this show has been in existence, again, my motto is I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It's been proven over and over again, seriously, since the show has begun. Again, this is Wednesday night, and we're going to enjoy our conversations tonight. I had some great news this week. It is only Wednesday. Um, just crazy news. And I will share at a later time. Just know God is good. So I'm just waiting on my guests for tonight. Truly, truly enjoying this evening. It was a nice day out today. I hope you guys were out and about, getting some exercise in, going to do some shopping, something to exercise yourselves. Just waiting for my guests to come on.
All right. Hello.
I'm here.
All right. There we go.
There we go.
I apologize. I was handling some business for church. It took a little too long. And I said, oh my God, I got the Zoom call.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I am good. Super,
Good.
super tired.
You retired?
Yes.
You was downtown at the on Monroe.
No, I've been gone from there for some years now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, everyone, I want you guys to welcome Mr. Brooks to our show.
Hi everybody. We in the building.
So, I let everybody know how I know the person that, is coming on as our guest. So, we have intertwined, oh my God, it has been several years.
Yeah.
We go back to, he was at Second Timothy.
Yep.
I was at Wayside.
Wow,
And
sure.
yes, and we fellowshipped for years. And I saw him at probably a singing engagement, and I'm trying to put my finger on it, like, where do I know you from? How do I know you from? And he told me, and then he just mentioned he came in one day, needed some something with a deed done, I believe, or recorded at my previous job. And I was like, you come here, come on. And so I made sure he was okay. And ever since then, we would see each other at different events.
Yeah.
He's always helping someone. He's always supporting someone. And I had to get him on here because he has some great, awesome news to talk about. And I named his show Great is Thy Faithfulness.
Great is Thy Faithfulness. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So if y'all did not know, this man can sing you into a tizzy.
I just love Jesus. That's all.
Yes. And he can preach.
Yeah, I do a little bit of that.
And he's very, if you ever met Kirk Franklin and Ty Tribbett in person, He like both of them all combined into one. He might be a little bit taller than Kirk Franklin, but yeah.
I think everybody's taller than Kirk Franklin. Sorry, Kirk.
So where do you want to start, sir?
Ooh, well, I mean, first of all, it's an honor and a privilege to be on the show. I am excited to be a part of this today, and man, it's a humbling experience when somebody can call you to talk to you. I'm like, wow, this is an honor. So I commend you for your show and for your podcast, and keep doing what you're doing, because a lot of people need to hear a lot of people need to hear what's going on in people's lives, and also with the things that you're doing. I think it's encouraging for us to talk, and for us to just share our experiences and share the different things that go on in our life, because it might touch somebody, it might bless somebody, it might help somebody. So it's always good to talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go here. So for those who do not know him, he is a husband, a father, a pastor. He wears so many hats, but he does it well. So let's go with not even why you love Jesus. I mean, that's obvious.
I'll start with this. I'll say this. I know as a young person, I was born and raised in church. My mom, I've heard the story that my mom would shout, and she would be pregnant with me shouting in her womb. And but she was a singer, and she was like the singer in the church, just the one that would always just tear the house down. And then she went on to sing with a couple of groups, and then she started working, and she had me, and she still sang in church, but she didn't really go she didn't really go hard like she was going. So I was forced to join the choir. I was forced to join the choir. I heard, I think I heard my man from the Cat Spiritual say, if anybody is a druggie, I'm the biggest druggie there is, because my mama drugged me to church. She drugged me to Sunday school, drugged me to choir rehearsal, just drugged me there all the time. But when I was a kid, I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to have nothing to do with singing. I was cool playing with my Transformers and my wrestlers and all that, and so, but my mom kept making me sing, and then my choir director, God bless you, Cynthia Humphreys and Carolyn Humphreys, they would always give me songs, and I would be like, "Oh, this song is too high," or "Oh, this song is too low." I tried so many ways and so many times to get out of singing, but they saw something in me. All three of them, my mother, Carolyn, and Cynthia, they all saw something in me that I really didn't see in myself. And God always has a way of bringing out of you what's in you, and sometimes He has to use somebody to bring it out. Sometimes you don't even be thinking about what God wants you to do, but God will always send somebody to let you know, like, hey, you need to be doing what thus says the Lord, not in those exact words, And but I remember when I was 14 years old, and my choir director, I believe it was Cynthia, she gave me a song, and the name of the song, I believe, was Lord Step In, or He Steps In Just When I Need Him Most. I can't remember. It was one of those songs. And so and I remember just plain as day, the lyrics are, sometimes I just couldn't take it. Sometimes I just couldn't make it. But Jesus stepped in right on time, solved my problems, and gave me a peace of mind. And that was one of the verses of the song. So that wasn't the part. The part was, after I sang the song, I just burst into tears. I just started crying, and I couldn't control it. I couldn't stop. And it was just I couldn't understand it. I was just in the back row. The song was over, and it was going to the next thing. I was still sitting there crying at 14 years old. And I'm like, what the world is going on? And now as I look back, I personally feel like that was God filling me with his presence, and him giving me the Holy Spirit and the boldness to do what I'm doing right now. And so ever since then, I never stopped singing. I've always tried to sing. You can't get a mic out of my hand. I sing at home. I sing at work. I've gotten in trouble for singing.
Right.
But singing has opened many doors for me. It opened many doors, and even when it came up to me preaching, I had always been singing and always had been just, and God had it was only the Lord, because he had elevated me to start preaching. And at the same time, I was meeting my wife, and it seemed like my life as a singer or as a worship leader began to increase. And I was also preaching at the same time. And so I remember before me and my wife got married, I said, now look, honey, you need to understand. I sing and I preach. If you can't handle that, I don't know if it's a good idea if we be together, but if you're able to handle me singing all the time and preaching all the time, then that's cool. I love you, want to be with you, but this is what I do. And she understood. And for 25 years, well, this year is 24 years. We've been together. She's been putting up with me all this time. 24 years and 5 kids later, I'm still singing, still preaching. And I believe sometime in 2008 or 2011, I can't remember which year, but I released my first maxi single. And then I did like another single, and then I did an album in 2013. And then I did another single in 2017. So I've been around for a long time. I'm not a novice. And so it got to the point where my singing engagements got to be so much because, and this is going to help somebody, because I felt like I needed to grind. I had to, when you get a record or you got something out, you out here grinding, and I was out here grinding. And now I will say that I wasn't asking for opportunities. The opportunities were coming to me. I wasn't like, hey, can you put me on the program? Just put me on the program. I'd never, that's just so tacky and just out of order. But opportunities would come. But sometimes you can get weighed down with being busy and you can lose your focus. And that happened to me in my ministry, in my marriage. I got busy. Every opportunity ain't a God opportunity. And so sometimes you could be spinning your wheels and not going nowhere. Can I get an amen, somebody?
Amen.
So it was a lot of that going on. It was a lot of, people calling me to sing, and they promise something and they don't come through with the promise, or it would be, one person at the place, or I went and sang some places and nobody was there. Like not even the person that invited me. And I'm like, well, when was y'all gonna tell me this was canceled? Like what I'm supposed to do, So, but I've been through a lot, and a lot of ups and downs as a worship leader. But at the same time, I'm still a minister. So, I would preach at my church and different. When I first started preaching, I literally did like revivals when I first started preaching. Like I would do like week-long revivals, and it was just like God's favor was just on me, real heavy and real tough. And so as my preaching was increasing, my singing was increasing, but like I said, sometimes when you're going to go all the time, it doesn't matter whether you singing gospel, whether you singing R&B. If you out here singing and ain't taking care of your family, it's going to be some problems in your house. Now me and my wife thank God, we never got to the point where we was just like, we was fighting or nothing or trying to divorce each other, nothing like that. That never happened. but it puts strain on the house, when you're gone. And even though even though you're living in the house, and this is like, I'm in hindsight, I'm thinking about this, but you could be living in a house and not there, even doing the Lord's work. And so I've learned that it's important that you have balance in whatever you do. You have to have balance. So my home church, I'm giving you like my whole life story right now. uh so I was at my home church, and the Lord allowed me to go off into, and my pastor, with his permission, he allowed me to minister at different places and lead worship. And that's when I really started to hone in on my gift, or if you call it a gift or whatever, or experience as in praise and worship. And I led worship at several different churches. And so, but my pastor was always cool with it. I always supported my church, was always there with my church. And he was always cool with me, going out, because he saw the gift in me and he never wanted to stifle my gift, And so when the time arose for me to go and sing here, he was like, I'll have no problem. Just let me know where you at. So fast forward, my last church that I was leading worship at was Christian Tabernacle. And I had been the worship leader there for almost 3-4 years. And, and I loved it so much. Pastor Mormon, I love my pastor. He's my pastor now, and I'll explain that shortly. But I love my pastor. He's been so instrumental. Even before he was my pastor, he was instrumental in helping me and just talking and encouraging me. So August of last year, we're getting ready to sing, and I get a call from our first lady from the church that I grew up in, which is Second Timothy Baptist Church. She calls me and she tells me, she says, Rev, pastor is gone. And I was so devastated and so hurt, that pastor had passed away. And she paused and said, that he wanted you to be the pastor. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that right now. And let me backtrack there. Some years prior, me and him had a conversation in the parking lot. And he was like, if something were to ever happen to me, I would want you to, take. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hit none of that. I done seen what you went through. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't, nope, negative, nope. Love you, pastor, but get somebody else. I didn't say that to him. But that's what I was saying in my mind. But I told him, okay, pastor, whatever you say. So some weeks passed, and and the funeral had passed. And to make a long story short, it came to be where the church pretty much wanted me to be the pastor of the church. And it settled in my spirit, because at first I really didn't want a pastor, because like I said, I saw all the stuff that he went through and all the stuff that pastors go through. And I didn't want to go through that. I'm like, man, I love singing. I love leading worship. But the more I prayed about it, the more God began to show me that this is what God has called you to do. This is where you are supposed to be. And now I'm the pastor of the church I grew up in. And that's very, very rare that happens. Usually they go out and get somebody else, or it goes to somebody, in the family or what have you. But I'm grateful to God that the Lord has, as Paul said, bestowed upon me grace to be in the ministry. And God has been so faithful. Now, here's the kicker. So back in April, we had two services. We had the second service, and that's when, they said pretty much, okay, we want you to be the pastor. So that next week, which was my birthday, I get a call, the day after my birthday, I get a call, and they say, hey, pastor, somebody had ran into the church. Now it's 12 midnight. And I said, somebody ran into the church. Like they physically ran into the church. Like the church is locked. How they gonna get in there? They said, no, pastor, somebody ran into the church with a car. and it hit the front of the church. And I'm like, what the world are you talking about? So I'm getting calls from people, and my mother called. She said the church is on fire. I'm like, the church is on fire. So I get there. Lo and behold, it's a car. It's a Dodge Durango. We have steps going to the, you've seen our church. We
Right.
have steps going up to the front of the church. I don't know how this happened, but they were driving so fast that they went up the steps and hit one of the pillars of the church. And it split the pillar. The car caught on fire. Both of the young people died. They were in their 20s. They died. And oh, hey, son. My son didn't know I was home. They died, and my son was even with me when this happened. But they died, and we saw them pulling their bodies out of the car, and I was just like, Lord, like, you serious? Like, you want me to pastor, but then this happened. Like, I don't know, like, what? So our church is we got all is just all in disarray, and so that next Sunday, I didn't know what to do, so something just kept telling me, go to the church, just gather the members at the church, just gather them at the church. So we gathered in front of the church and got smoke and debris everywhere. And I stood on the steps and I declared that all things work together for good to them who love God. And we all, worshiped and praised God. And I gave a word and just declared that it's going to be okay. And so they're doing construction on our church now, but we're still moving on. We just had our second service this past Sunday. We're at a location. It's the old Peace and Goodwill Baptist Church on Ross.
Okay.
They actually moved to another location, actually across the street, really across the road. But we're going to be there probably for a long time until they get done working on our church. So God has been so faithful to me and to our church. Never in my wildest dreams, like I would, how sometimes you would like I would hear, and I didn't realize it, but I would hear in my spirit that, you're going to be the pastor, and I'd be like, brush it off. And then, people say, you're going to pastor that church one day. I had friends tell me that. And I was looking at them like, man, you got to be out of your mind. I'm not going to do it. Somebody else can do it. You have people who go out, they go to school for years and years to be a pastor, and they're born pastors. I'm just a guy that just was in church, loving the Lord, and the Lord saw fit to choose me to shepherd his people. So I'm excited I'm excited for what God is doing and what he's getting ready to do. Even in this COVID pandemic time, God is still raising up people to do great things for him. And
Absolutely.
I'm honored to be called into the ministry.
So you said all of that, right?
Yep.
And while you were talking, he brought back a memory of you. Wayside had, now you already know, our churches was very known for concerts.
Yes, indeed.
And going from regular home down church to quartet to all of these things, and he brought back to a memory. You were with the group. Wayside had, I want to say the youth chorale had a gospel explosion.
Yep.
You in a group, and y'all came in, tore the church up, and I'm gonna tell you what song y'all sung.
Lily in the Valley.
It was John P. Key.
Lily in the Valley.
Lily in the Valley. And I said to myself, at this time, I didn't know what a Negro or a nigga was. At the time, I said, who?
The Negro.
Who is this singing this song? And I love John P. Key. But when y'all sung it, it was like,
it was a whole
John
vibe.
P. Key, who?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. And so again, I would see you at different people's events.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the last time I saw you, it was a song, and you said you just made it up. But the hook and everything on it, it was just like a song that spoke at the moment, but it was so catchy.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, who is this dude? I'm like, and then when I see you on videos, it's like you take worship to a whole nother level. Like they always say as worship leaders, you should be able to take the people where you already been. And so I can tell by the worship that you do that you have been in the presence of God, that it's something totally different. You can worship from in the womb all the way to 100, and they can follow you. It's not like, we have some people that ain't my yeah, I don't know what they doing. They stuck in the hymn. I don't know what that is, but it ain't touching me. But whatever song you choose that day, it hits everybody in the house.
Glory to God.
And so I'm saying I appreciate the gift that God has given you in singing. I haven't had a chance to hear you preach, but I'm sure if it's anything to do with singing, I'm sure it's on point.
Amen.
I did see your videos or the pictures of the church. When the incident happened, I saw your post of when you first accepted the call of going back to Second Timothy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, it was so many people that commented on that post because everyone knows you.
Yeah. That's how God is, man. Because I never tried to, I'd be careful how I say this because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be humble, but I never try to push myself onto people or try to make me more of something than I'm not, but I just love, I genuinely love giving God praise. And even in those different places, like you reminded me of when that was a group that I sang in called Intermission. And we were a mixture of Commission mixed with the Mighty Clouds, mixed with John P. Key, mixed with the Winans, and that was a time, and we all went to high school together. And that was a period in our life where God was really shaping us and really teaching us a lot of things. Most of us in the group, we became ministers and worship leaders and pastors. And we're still, all of us are still close today. If we were to say we were going to come together and do it again, we wouldn't even miss a beat. And sometimes I have one of the guys in the group, we always sing together like all the time. Pastor Reggie Williams, he's at First Baptist World Changers. But I'm gonna tell you something. As a worship leader, something that I've learned is that you're a worship leader. You're not entertaining. There are people, and through the years, I had to learn how to be a worship leader. Because at first, like everybody else, and most people still do it when they lead in worship, they don't lead the people in worship, they leave the people in worship. They don't lead up, they leave up. And so, and I've been there, and then you got some worship leaders who want to force everybody to come on and lift your head. You know the Lord been good to you. You sitting up there looking like you ain't did nothing, and he ain't did. It's like, bro, like you don't know what I had to go
do today.
You don't know. I might have had an argument with my wife, or I might have lost my job, and I'm here. The reason why I'm upset right now is because my back is hurting, or my leg is hurting, or I'm going through something in my life. As worship leaders, we have to be sensitive to the atmosphere. You follow what I'm saying? You have to be sensitive to people, because we're inviting them into the presence of God. We're ushering, like it's something when you go to a church and you have a mean usher. That usher that just be like, go sit over there, You don't want to be, I mean, if the usher mean, then everybody else, what else is going on in this church?
Right.
That's the same thing. The same thing goes to the worship leader. If we have to be sensitive to people, because everybody can't stand up. Like everybody stand to your feet. You have to understand that everybody may not be able to stand. You might have some seniors in there that legs might be hurt, or
some young ones in the wrong shoes.
Yeah. But we have to pray and ask God what to sing. Like there have been times that I would be at different events and I would have the song that I wanted to sing, but sometimes the song that you want to sing may not be appropriate for what God is trying to do in that place. So you have to be sensitive to the Spirit of God, and you have to have enough experience to say, okay, so this might cause for me to just minister to the people in before I sing, or okay, this is a hype service, so let's get hype, or it may be a time where you might want to just do a hymn. If you're in a setting where it's older people and it's all older people, sing a hymn. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of times we trying to do us, but God, it ain't about, when you lead worship, it's not about you. It's about getting the people to a place to prepare them for what God is getting ready to do, whether it's somebody getting ready to preach or whether it's just a song or a concert. I wish I could say this to a lot of worship leaders, is we have to be sensitive to not only the people, but we have to be sensitive to the Spirit of God and what He wants to do in that moment. And that took some time for me. I had to learn that. I had to develop that.
So I'm gonna ask this because we both sing. With you, I'm sure it's almost like a Shekinah glory type or psalmist rain. Like I've seen you worship on the fly. And a lot of people can't because they're so not stagnated, but they practice this song and that's what we gonna sing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus, again, like you said, spontaneous worship.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't sensitive to, and I keep wanting to say that a lot of people aren't sensitive to the Spirit of God, and you can get caught up, and there are times where you can do that. Like you can do your song, but if somebody before you, or let's say you're singing at a concert, right? And you got somebody that sang before you, and they're singing and they got through singing about, grace or something, to just kind of keep it going. And it's also wise to kind of, I don't want to say stall, but when you have you have your musicians and your singers, you have to transition. That's where a lot of people don't know how to do. They don't know how to transition, into their set or their flow. So in order to transition, if the song is really moving and God is really moving in that song, then either I'll tag that from that song, or I'll sing a song like it, or just kind of calm down. And then once you see that, people are, okay, cool, then you do your stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you have to learn how to like, you don't just get up there and just kill the whole spirit or to kill the whole vibe of the person that was before you. That's kind of out cold, and it says a lot about you. So you have to transition, and then still let the spirit move how you're moving, and then transition into what you're doing. Now, in a service, like if you're at the beginning of a service, you pretty much set the tone for the whole service.
Right.
You set the tone. So if you come up there and oh, I had a rough night last night and I didn't know where I was going to be, but I know the Lord will make a way. So we're going to sing this song and I'm going to do my best. You just kind of like brought in that spirit of woe is me. It's important that we be sensitive and that we offer people hope, whether we singing "This Is the Day" or God has smiled on me. You should offer hope and be sensitive to the spirit of God and people.
Before we get off, and I got a request.
Uh-oh.
So you have to sing.
I know.
Now you had a choice. Great is thy faithfulness, or you have three choices. Great is thy faithfulness. God has smiled on me.
I love that too.
Or I really love the Lord.
I love all three of them songs. That's a hard one. That's hard. Well, since you entitled this broadcast "Great is Thy Faithfulness," I'm going to sing that. And I'm only going to sing the first verse because I don't remember the second verse. I don't want to butcher it. So okay. I'll sing "Great is Thy Faithfulness." Is that okay? That's all right with you? Thank you for having me on the podcast. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father, for there is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changes not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, Lord, forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Hallelujah. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. Woo. Sorry. All I have needed, thou hands have provided. Great is your faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, a brand new mercy that I see. All I have needed, Lord, your hands have provided. Yes, you have. Great is thy faithfulness. Every morning when I get up, I say, great is thy faithfulness. Even when I didn't do everything I should have done. Oh God, you're great, great, great is thy faithfulness. Lord unto, Lord unto, Lord unto, Lord unto, Lord unto to me.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
sir.
I love that song.
Well, I gave you some great choices.
Yes, sir. I love all those songs. All those songs is wonderful.
Listen, I'm grateful on tonight. Um, Great is thy faithfulness is it's an understatement. It's who God is, and to see from a personal close as teenagers
Yeah,
growing up to we're intertwining again as adults.
as a dog.
Um, I know the fact that God is great, and He's definitely faithful to us in the walk that we're walking as believers. And so I know for a fact that this stands right here is just another phase, another step, another thing that God is going to bless tremendously, because He's already blessed you tremendously with the great marriage, great kids, great singing, connections, and the heart that you have. And I believe that's why God chose you to be a shepherd, because you have a shepherd's heart. And it's all about, if you go back and listen to yourself, even in the worship, you said that you're leading, not leaving. And that's what the world needs now, is to really see that God is real. And He is definitely, when you on the Lord's side,
you're on the Lord's side.
He will definitely take care of you. So again, I know you were super, super busy. We didn't try this so many times, rescheduled and this and that. And oh my goodness. And I'm so glad tonight was the night that God chose. Like I said, I was super, super tired, and just getting on, listening to you, and then hearing the song, it's like, okay, now I got a little bit of juice that I can get for the rest of the night. But thank you so much for clearing your schedule for the moment, of coming on, blessing us with your testimony, blessing us with your song. And I'm looking forward to, we didn't get a chance to talk about Friday nights. Or you can talk about that real quick if you want to.
Friday nights.
Don't you have something on Friday nights?
Well, it's the fourth Friday of every month. And it's called We Rock. My friend John Player is actually
plug. He will be on the show next Saturday.
Yeah, but it's his it's actually his brainchild. We done it a few times, and it was a very successful event. But now he's shifting it, and he's made me like at the helm of it. So I'm kind of the face of it. And what we do is we do a live concert at every fourth Friday at 9 p.m. And it's for about an hour. And it's actually a conference style thing. It's the best way I can call it a thing. But they from 6 to 9, they have like different classes and different things that they do. Like they have like a man cave segment, and they have like a woman's segment, and they have a financial segment, and all these things. And it's live stream, and also it's not only live stream, but this time they're doing it in person. So they're going to have different rooms where they're going to be doing different things. And so at 9, they're going to close out with the concert. And okay. So I'm pretty much running that. And Darius James is my special guest this month. And it's going to be live. But the only way that you can see it is if you go on the website. And the name of the website is werockexp.com, www.werockexp.com. You can get your tickets. and view it virtually or in person. But you definitely can view it virtually on werockexp.com.
Got it. So I'll make sure that I'll tag that once I finish with this.
Yeah.
And again, he will be on the show Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna plug it. So
Yes, I'm sure. And so I'm, like I said, thank you so much for coming through while I'm sitting on the couch and while you at the church, the home, wherever you at.
I just got home. I was lugging some speakers in for church. I had to meet somebody to get some speakers because we didn't have any speakers, so I had to purchase some. So I was busy doing stuff for church, and and I'm like, I gotta get home so I can do this podcast.
So again, thank you so much. I'm sure we will later on, maybe once you get back in the church, do something from
we have service every Sunday. And we're at Peace and Goodwill Baptist Church, 20500 Maross, Detroit, Michigan, 48224. So if you're not busy, just come straight up 94, come up on Maross. If you're going east, come up on Maross, make a left. We're on the church over there. Our service is at 11 o'clock. We don't have any musicians right now, but we have our voices, and God meets us there every Sunday. So please come out if you can. Come out if you can. We're doing something great for the Lord. And you know what? I must say, I know you had asked to sing with me a while ago, but it seemed like everything was transitioning for me. And I didn't really do a lot of engagements where I had singers, so I would just go myself, but we're going to get the opportunity to work together at some point.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I know I got to get out of here.
Amen. Myself to death. So
I will see you soon, sir.
I'll see you. Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome.